Hello, everyone. This is Adam Gabriel, and we will be taking a look at a, an advanced technique, but very useful technique that we use to increase the power of GPTs or large language models. That technique is fine-tuning. What is fine-tuning? So, a GPT stands for General Purpose Transformer. From the name, that means it's general purpose, meaning it knows a little about a lot of things. Now, if we want to maximize its capabilities by making it more specialized, let's say in medicine, then we have to fine tune it with medical information to increase its expertise in that specific domain. And this is exactly what we will be doing here. We will be taking LLaMA 2 from Meta, aka Facebook, before the renaming, and fine-tuning it with medical information. All right. We will be using Google Colab, which is really useful when we do things like this, because instead of showing the code as one big chunk, as one would see in something like Visual Studio Code, we can see it broken up with labels even. So this is a label, and then after it, these three chunks are chunks of code, and so on and so forth. And these chunks can be executed individually. So you can see exactly what effect each had and change them interactively even. So what we will do now is choose the chunks from or steps from 1 all the way to 9A. 9A is what loads the pre-trained LLaMA 2 model, meaning the default model from Meta that has the knowledge that Meta trained it with. And to run the selection, we will go to Runtime and choose Run Selection. We will deselect so as to observe what is happening step by step. Whenever a step finishes, a chunk finishes, you will see a check sign appear next to it. So we're working our way. 6 is done, 7 is done, 5, 6, 7. And the most time-consuming one is loading the pre-trained LLaMA 2 model. But even that was done fairly quickly. Now we will chat with the pre-trained model, which has yet to get fine-tuned. This is our prompt. The user prompt is, what is paracetamol poisoning? And this, again, is asking the model, which has general information, what it knows about paracetamol poisoning. We will run this, and it is generating the answer. Now, in case you were expecting an instantaneous or almost instantaneous answer like what happens with ChatGPT, the reason it's taking a bit of time, 17 seconds, is that here we're using 1/100 GPU, while ChatGPT has an estimated 20,000 of those. So of course, there is no comparison when it comes to speed. When we inspect the response here, between inst and /inst, here is what we gave it as our instructions. Inst means instructions, And from that point onwards is the actual answer. Okay, we will go ahead and proceed with steps 10 through 14. And the critical one, really, the one that does the magic, so to speak, is training the model, aka fine-tuning the model with the medical information. So again, we will run our selection, deselect to see everything on a granular level. Step 13 is executing, done, and now we are training the model. So here is when we observe the GPU RAM, we will see that our usage is climbing up. You know, we started out with no GPU RAM, aka VRAM, video RAM, and as we are fine-tuning, we are using 11.6 out of 40. This is because the matrix multiplication operations, which are the essence of fine-tuning, happen in the GPU, in the video RAM, the VRAM. And the technique we're using, which is QLoRA, Quantized Low Rank Adaptation, as opposed to just LoRa, which is Low Rank Adaptation, the purpose of quantizing reduces the RAM we need typically by a factor of 4. And so it makes it feasible when you're doing this on just one NVIDIA A100 GPU as opposed to having 20,000 at your disposal. We're 50% halfway there, and the loss shows the accuracy. So the lower the loss, the higher the accuracy of the fine-tuned model. So you will see it, so it was at 1.7, now it's down to 0.84. We will see what comes up at the 0.75 mark, and then it ends, of course, at the 100% mark. And so it's at 1.39, which is to be expected because this process is hardly ever linear. It kind of ping-pongs until it reaches a minimum value, which we will see shortly. So here we are at 0.75, which is indeed the lowest value for loss that we have seen thus far. At this point, we do have the fine-tuned model, and we will use the same user prompt and see what it responds with. And again, you need to give it some time because it's just one GPU, not around 20,000 of them. All right, so again, what's between inst and /inst? That was the question. Or the prompt, what is paracetamol poisoning? Now, none of us, I'm assuming, none of the people watching are doctors, so to make the evaluation of the general model, so let's count the symptoms. This is the pre-trained model, the one that came from Meta. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8 symptoms. Now let's check the answer after we've done fine-tuning. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So obviously the model is more capable now. It is fine-tuned indeed for medical purposes.